Welcome to King's March!
Hello Exiles, and here we are again. We are at another League launch, and this time it's for Settlers of Kalguur. As you just saw for the intro there, it is shaping up to be one of the best leagues Path of Exile has created, if not the best league, and it could possibly be the last league for Path of Exile 1. With Path of Exile 2 beta just round the corner, who knows if this could be a final send-off. We'll just have to wait and see. In terms of the league starters for today, these are going to be my top picks that I feel will get you through to tier 16 maps very comfortably and very safely, and will then be able to help you smash all content all the way through to the end game, at which point then you can always re-roll into a character of your choosing. Now, if you've not come across any of my videos before, I would appreciate it if after you've watched this, go check out my channel. There is a ton of videos on there for third-party software, help videos, atlas guides, build guides, all sorts of things. So go and have a check it out, and obviously if you do like the content, then throw us a subscribe, throw us a like. I am trying to hit 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year, guys, so let's see if we can do it. In terms of the league starters, guys, let's begin. Now, for anyone who watched my 3.24 league starters video, you'll have seen that I provided you with quite a varied mix of ascendancies, and I tried to provide you with one from every single class, and that is no different for 3.25. So from the Witch, I am bringing you an Elementalist and a Necromancer, from the Shadow, a Trickster, from the Templar, an Inquisitor, from the Ranger, a Deadeye and a Warden, from the Duelist, a Gladiator and a Slayer, and from the Marauder, a Juggernaut. So as you can see here, a nice big mix of all different ascendancies. Now, the first class I'm going to provide you with, Frostblink Ignite Elementalist. Now, the build guide that I'm going to be providing you is with from Subtractum, as you can see here in the background here. Now, I provided this last league, and it's a very strong, very stable build. The Ignite proliferation is just something that is just amazing, and it will help you with your clear. And obviously with your building, going around in a circle with the new league, I think this Ignite is going to be massively helpful, and it's going to be a very strong build. Ignite builds have always been strong, but I feel that this one has been there's been no real buffs, no real nerfs that have obviously made it any worse. Nothing obviously that was put out this league changed it, so it's always going to be strong. So I would very much recommend this build if you are wanting to get to tier 16 maps quickly, and the build link for all of the builds that I'm going to be going through with yourself today will be in the description. The second one we're going to go through today is Explosive Trap of Shrapnel Trickster. Now again, I provided this last league, but it is still very, very strong. There was no changes that was made to it that was going to affect it. There was no nerfs. There was no buffs either, but that means that it's still in a very strong position. This build will annihilate all content, and obviously this build guide that I'm going to provide you, he does a very informative guide, and he even shows you how Shrapnel is actually better than the actual original Explosive Trap by showing you the Maven kills side by side. So if you want to check out his video, he will then provide you with a full informative guide of where you need to go, what you need to do, items you need, and all the gear that's required for progression. He is a very good build guide, and I would fully recommend this if you are wanting to blast through maps nice and quickly and for nice clearing speed. For the third build, we are going to discuss Elemental Hit of the Spectrum, Deadeye. Now, the video that I'm going to be providing you with is going to be one that's been made by Fobgon. This has literally just come out, and obviously this will then provide you with a full guide. He does describe how the build has changed from last league, obviously whether it's lost some damage. I think it has lost some damage overall, and he does go into that with you on the video. He also does say that if you want to see the best build guide, you're probably best watching last league's, just because it's more in depth. He then does kind of show a bit of a showcase in the map just to kind of show you how it looks. And that's even with just bog standard gear, base gear, and he still annihilate everything in the map. So this is a very strong build, and if you are wanting a bow build, then go ahead. Fourth one that we're going to discuss today is a Zoomancer, which is obviously Gazzy's Zoomancer Necromancer. This has always been strong, and it's just a case of the more investment you pour into this, the more damage it will do. You are literally running around with an army of minions at your back, and obviously with Gazzy's video as well, he does also have a written version on his website that he will then show you, which is, I think is on the PoE Vault, and you can go on there and go and read it, and obviously just check obviously everything that he's put in there. So he has put a lot of effort into this build, so go check that out if you want to do a minion build. The next build I'm going to be revising is a Lightning Strike Warden. Now this is the new class, so it is a bit experimental because we don't particularly know how it's going to play out. The video you can see in the background is Localhol's video, but this video in the background is the 3.24 version. I just put this in here just to show you, just because the video from Localhol was delayed a couple days. I just wanted to obviously get the footage in the video, just obviously so I can get it ready. However, by the time this video is released, the new one will be released. So if you check the description, his 3.25 video will be in there. It is with tinctures, so if you want to have a go at this and you want to try an experimental build and you want to see how well it is and how good it smashes content, then check it out. If not, and you want to stay with something that people know and it is tried and tested, then the next build would be the best one for you. And the next build guide that we're going to go through is going to be a Lacerate Bleed Gladiator. Now, this build is from Zizaran. He's literally just put it out this week. I was already going to have a look at this build and I was going to potentially play this, but I want to try something else before I even try Lacerate. As he shows in the video, he literally does this in 3.24, so this is without the melee buffs, with terrible gear, with low level gems, and he still manages to destroy everything. So as you can imagine, in 3.25 it's going to be even stronger with all of the melee buffs and all of the other changes been applied. So if you want to try this, then check out his video and it will go through it. The next one that we're going to discuss is going to be a Hexblast Inquisitor. Now the build guide I'm going to provide you with is from good old Captain Lance, stand for Captain Lance, and this is going to help you in terms of your Hexblast. Now this build is a tri-stacking Inquisitor. Now I appreciate you may not obviously want to start with that in terms of like league start, but you should be able to at least just start regular Hexblast and then build up towards the tri-stacking one. Obviously the build itself obviously talks you through how to do it, what to do. It's very informative. Now I do know that there is also an occultist variant, but I'm not going to provide you with that POB just because the effective H pool is usually less than 20,000. So unless you want to be very squishy, then good luck. The next build that I'm going to advise you to do is either Boneshatter Slayer or Jugg. Now the build that I'm going to recommend for yourself is one of Jorgen's. Now with Jorgen, he does actually go into a full leveling guide of all the way through Act 1 and through to Act 10. He does provide you with an end game build, and he does also provide you with an adorned version. Now, I've watched his video recently, and he does say that there is obviously now 4 free sockets because you're now no longer having to run the War Chief totems, so you can have a play around and obviously put 4 gems in there that you want. You're not really going to be socket starved, and obviously you can have a play with what gems you want to put in there, so that is entirely your preference. He does mention that on his video on his channel for his 4 possible league starters for 3.25. So if you want to go and check that out, you can do. I'll put the link in the description for it and you can go and check it out from Jorgen. In terms of the Slayer version, that is going to be the collaboration that Zizaran did last league. I'll put that in the description as well for the Slayer. Obviously, appreciate that the Ancestral War Totems and all of those will be removed, so as advised previously with the Jorgen one, you will just have some free slots, so you'll have to have a play around and just see what you can fit in there that will then help you either mobility wise, maybe a portal gem, things like that, just until a more comprehensive guide comes out that will obviously then provide you with what to put in those gem sockets. Now at this point, this is when I would say, and the next build is going to be, however, as you can see, there's a big red X on it. So my build that I was going to do, was going to start with, was with Penance Brand, and everything was going fine until Sunday night they decided to completely destroy Eternal Damnation. So the build is now pretty much dead, destroyed, ruined. As you can imagine, it's buried. Yeah, it's fucked. I was quite pissed at this, and obviously when I found out that obviously that they'd ruined Eternal Damnation, I was sat there and I was literally stunned for about 10 minutes because I've been confident this is pretty much what I look like for about 10 minutes before I was like, for fuck's sake, I'm going to have to pick something else. This is something that was obviously beyond my control. I couldn't control this. I even put out a build video and then 4 or 5 hours later, GGG decided to then completely ruin it and destroy the build. They literally wiped off 40 million DPS off the build and about 30,000 EHP off the build as well, just by doing one change. I do know that it also changed a few other builds. Rutsu's build, for example, there's one of his builds that he was building that has also been slightly changed. It's not obviously dead, but it's just had to be slightly reworked. This one, though, however, completely dead. So if you want to play Penance Brand, good luck, but it's going to be nowhere near as good as it was last league or even the league before. Next build is going to be a honourable mention. Now this is for Flicker Strike. Epilepsy warning just before it comes on. This is what it would look like in terms of gameplay. Now, Flicker Strike did get a buff of over 190% in terms of damage effectiveness, and I feel that there is going to be a hell of a lot of people playing it. Now, I don't have a build guide that I'm going to provide you with just because I don't really want to recommend anything just yet, because I want to see how it plays out. But if anyone wants to play Flicker Strike later on in the league, I would probably want to have a go at this. Now, I'm not keen on melee builds, but Flicker Strike has always been one of them builds that just looks fun as hell to play. You literally right click or hold the mouse down and let the game take control. You have no control over your character. You fly all around the screen. You have no idea where you are. You start the map and you're literally holding on right click or left click, whatever you want to do it as, and before you know it, you're at the boss. And the last build of my honorable mentions today, guys, is going to be Pox's RF. Now, I know what you're going to say. It's been played so many years, it was nerfed, but Fox is still putting out the builds, and he still is putting out builds that are kicking out at least 9 to 10 million damage with over 100,000 effective H pool, max block, max suppress, yeah, everything, all the defenses, and yes, it's just absolutely ridiculous. So if you do like RF and you want to have a go at it, obviously it's not going to be as good as the RF that I did. If we could rewind back to Crucible when I made my RF the size of the full screen and I managed to get the radius to 82, then that would be awesome, but we can't do that anymore. One, because we don't have the anomalous anomalous righteous fire, and also we don't have the Crucible mods anymore, so this is never going to be possible to get it to this size, which is unfortunate because it was a very, very fun build. But if you want to obviously play RF and you want to try it and you've never played it before, it's very, very tanky. It's unkillable, but you literally just stand there, burn stuff, and they die. And if you want to get a bit of quality of life, you can run it with Explodey, and obviously then you burn stuff and then they explode and it causes a chain reaction. So yeah, there's multiple different variants you can do. On his website, he does provide you with walkthroughs for Inquisitor, for Juggernauts, for Chieftains, and he also then provides you with written guides for all three of them. He provides you with a video. He's done an act guide of all 10 acts, so yeah, it's very extensive. So I will put the link to his website in the description below. You can go and check him out, and if you want to do it, it's a very safe build. It's a good beginner build if you don't know what you're doing. It's very self-explanatory. Other than that, guys, that is pretty much all of the League Starter guides. If you have any questions or anything that you want to discuss, if you're unsure about any of the builds, then obviously if you want to query any of them, put them in the comments below. Anything to do with any builds that you're unsure of, like I said, I will try my best to help. I may not know the answer, but I will damn right give it a good go. In terms of what I'm going to be playing now, well, I have a few choices on the table, but I am looking around, and anyone that joins me on Friday, you will meet me on Twitch, and I will then decide on Friday finally what I am going to play. I think I already have in mind an idea of what I'm going to play, but I will fully make a decision in the next couple of days. So if you want to come and meet me on Twitch on Friday, you can come and see me and see how I do. Other than that, guys, I hope you every success with your league start, whatever you may pick, whether it be something on this video or whether it be something on someone else's video, or maybe you just want to just wing it and just do your own build, whatever it may be. Good luck. I hope the RNG Jesus is with you, and may you drop a mirror from Hillock. Good luck, everybody, and I will see you all soon. Thank you for watching, and stay sane.